Welcome to Mystery Science Theater 3000 Season 2 Countdown. Hi again. Just counting down to Season 2, and this is where things really get interesting. Josh Weinstein leaves the show. He's sort of the Denise Crosby of the series. He leaves after the first season to make his fortune or whatever in Hollywood. So that leaves the door open for two of the other performers. Frank Conniff becomes Forrester's assistant, TV's Frank. And Kevin Murphy becomes Servo. And with all due respect to Josh, they actually really do improve on the characters. Granted, he didn't really have a chance to really develop Servo or Earhart, but you know, that's what we're left with. Anyway, also it's where we add the stingers. Season 1, there's no stingers. They just had Best Brains Productions after the episode's end. And this time we just added the stingers at the end, which are probably one of my favorite parts of the show. Anyway, I'll get going, because I talk a lot, and I'm just trying desperately to get this in 10 minutes. Number 13 is First Spaceship on Venus. International cast. Looks good, boring as hell. I've always had trouble even watching it all the way through. The ripping's okay. And 12 is Rocket Ship XM, the first Lippard movie. This is pretty much a season of Lippard films. Robert Lippard was a producer of sort of B movies, and god damn, his shit is so boring. When they don't have enough plot, they just put walking sequences and padding and padding and padding and padding. Ugh. And number 11 is Jungle Goddess. I'll spend a minute on this one because it's easily the most racist movie they ever did. Essentially, George Reeves plays a pilot, and he has a friend who's also a pilot, and they go looking for this missing heiress who's been missing for 10 years in the jungle. Her plane crashed during World War II into the jungle. She's discovered by the natives, and obviously white woman has to be some kind of goddess. So she's been basically ruling these people for like 10 years. When they discover the tribe, George Reeves' friend shoots just a random native guy for no reason, just because he's just startled by him. He goes, "Ah!" And they're in trouble. They're going to execute him, and the George Reeves character, I think, is going to be let go or something like that. But this movie's really racist for a lot of reasons. First off, there's no female characters except for Wanama, who is played by a white actress, and she talks like a retarded Latino woman. I mean, she's really, really offensive. Also, the Jungle Goddess herself, she spent 10 years with these people. Nothing has absorbed. She considers them peculiar and childlike. I mean, they don't even shoot people that they don't understand. I mean, how can they be civilized? Really, really disgusting. And I can tell it really bothered Joel and the bots too, because they dedicated 2 host sequences to how racist this movie was. Very funny though. The side hackers. Basically, I don't know if this race format was made up for the movie, or but actually something going on in the 60s where these guys would race around motorcycles with a extra car on the side and they keep balance. I don't know. It fucking sucks. But they only pay attention to that for like maybe the first 30 minutes of the movie, and then one of them kills the hero's wife, and then they try to kill him. It's actually kind of dull. There's actually a lot of padding until the killing. And anybody who's complaining about Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof, about all the padding and not much going on in his film, this is what grindhouse movies were like, the majority of. It's just a lot of nothing until the end where you get those cool shots. He knew what he was doing. Unfortunately, maybe he made Death Proof a little too true to grindhouse cinema. And Rocket Attack USA, you would think that, oh, by the way, this is number 8. You would think a propaganda film would be exciting, but no. It's like watching videotapes from an acting class. It's really bad. But also, what's important about this episode, it's the first one with a stinger. Now, before they just had Best Brain Productions at the end of the credits, but for some reason they decided to add like this odd scene where a blonde guy walks by and goes, "Help me." It's really funny, and the pacing is perfect on that scene. And it's the first to do it, and they just started doing it. First they were doing it on and off during the first half of the season, then it just became part of the show. Love it. A Lost Continent. It's another Robert Lippert film. And, oh boy, you know, there's lots of padding in it. Scientists try to recover a rocket on the top of the mountain, and there's an hour's worth of rock climbing. It makes Iger Sanction look like Clueless, seriously. King Dinosaur is their last Robert Lippert film they did for a while, and their first Burt Gordon movie. It's really dumb. It's really, really dumb. Two pairs of astronauts, I guess they're couples, because they almost make out instantly. They kill every animal they see. They get frightened about snakes and want to leave the planet. It's a really retarded film, and this has one of the best host sequences. It has Joel and the bots doing the Joey the Lemur. Joel is so fucking funny with the Joey the Lemur puppet. He's just bouncing around like this, and God, it just never fails to make me laugh. 6 is Hellcats. Really funny movie, more cheerful than Side Hackers, which was made by the same people. And one of my only problems with the episode is the host sequences are a little lazy. They did a flashback bit with all the host sequences, where they showed previous episodes. Godzilla vs. Sea Monsters, number 5. And I actually like this film. It's actually a fairly entertaining movie. But the jokes are really terrific, and Godzilla is always fun. My only problem with the movie is Godzilla. It looks like the suit they used was really worn by this point in the series. They really should have upgraded to a new suit. Ring of Terror. I don't know what the fuck this movie's about. It's supposed to be a horror movie, but you just see 40-year-olds pretending they're college students for 80 minutes until like the very last scene, which is supposed to be a horror scene. And after you watch this, when you start to look for somebody or look for a cat, you'll be going, Puma! 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 Really dumb movie. Catalina Caper, starring Tommy Kirk. It's a beach movie, and it's also dumb. The host sequences are terrific. The humor's wonderful. And I don't believe there's a stinger on this one, which is too bad. There's tons of different stingers potential stingers in this episode. Godzilla vs. Megalon. This is a great episode to show somebody what MST3K is about. It's a fun, dumb movie that everybody can gravitate to. It's one of Godzilla's sillier movies. And, God, the best probably sketch is the Orville Redenbacher sketch in the middle of the episode. Has nothing to do with the movie, but holy shit, Servo and Crow just go off on the old Redenbacher commercials where him and his grandson are talking. Priceless. And Wild Rebels is number 1. It's a fantastic dumb biker movie. A lot of biker movies this year, where the worst guy ever is asked to help the police find these bikers and join them undercover. He is a terrible singer. He's a terrible dancer. He can't shoot. He can't drive. He can barely fight. He's not a very good leading man. And I can't believe this film exists. It's just really bad. There's no stinger on it, but the moment where Banjo goes, God bugs me, should have been the stinger. And I'm going to end off with Lindsay's pick. Lindsay likes Catalina Caper. It's a fun, silly, little goofy romp with people bouncing around.
Creepy girl.
Creepy girl, I know. One of the best leaning ladies in all of the Mystery Science Theater movies is Creepy Girl. What's interesting is she's actually kind of sort of mysteriously ethnic, which really makes her stand out among all the really, really white girls, white blonde girls hanging around. The humor, it's really not, it's a comedy, and it's so not fucking funny. There's not one genuine laugh in this whole fucking movie. And boy, they have fun with that. Anyway, Season 2 is terrific. It's definitely a step up from Season 1. I give it definitely 4 Ram chips, and I gotta get going. Push the button, Lindsay.